Charmaine, peace and freedom. Nini, welcome. I'm Queen Mother Imaku, and you're watching Shenu Living. Shenu Living is designed to help you incorporate ancient Kemetic wisdom practices into your life today for success. Heru season. We have finally come to the time of year where, let me turn off my notifications. First of all, let me tell you something that's really funny. If you put in the search engine house meditation music, right? You're thinking you're going to get house music that is sort of in a chill vibe, but you get all this stuff to clean your house by. It's not exactly what I was looking for. It took a while for me to find what I was looking for. In fact, let me turn it down a little bit. Heru season. Heru season is now, and it is the time. The rest of the year celebrates all the various holidays of light and gratitude. And of course, we're coming to what we know as Thanksgiving here in the United States. But actually, there was a Heru or Hator gratitude celebration that took place. And so we'll be learning more about that over the next successive nights and how you can decorate your home, the different rituals you can do, fun things you can do with your family, if you have children or if you have grandchildren. But also just to find out more about who Heru is. Let's start out with that. Heru, who the Greeks called Hathor because they mispronounced her name. Hathor is supposed to be with the T and the H broken up, not together like the Hathor. But it also in general known as Hether or Hetor or Heteru. Heteru is one of the most popular of the Necheru because of the fact that she's associated with beauty and with joy and with music and dance. But she's a lot more than that. Right away people assume that she's like Oshun, although she has a lot in common with Oshun. And Oshun, of course, is one of the most beloved Orisha in the African traditional religions. Okay. Brandon, how are you? Peace and blessings. And by the way, everyone, please share that I'm on the air. I swear to you, it's not going to be that long. It is almost midnight right now. I have to be in the recording studio in the morning, and then I have a doctor appointment later on. I'm still healing from this walking pneumonia. It's not going to kick my behind. Okay, it's trying, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the continued healing process, and make sure that you load up on your vitamins, especially your vitamin C, and all the things that you are accustomed to using for boosting your immune system. And if you haven't been taking anything to boost your immune system, then trust me, there are plenty of things out there that you can use. I'll share some of those over the next couple of nights with you too. Okay, so like I said, it is not going to be long, but please share that I'm on the air. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel. On my Facebook page, please hit like and become part of the fam. We enjoy fellowshipping here online when I come on live, and I certainly enjoy seeing everyone. Sometimes you kind of wonder, who exactly are you speaking to? I know somebody that come on, but internet is so far-reaching. Tomorrow night, I'll talk more about the effect of internet on our traditions and on our practices, on our community, and on our personal growth. Okay, Lucci, how are you? It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. And again, please share that I am on the air. All right. Heteru. Her name, Het, means house or mansion. Devon, welcome. Thank you, Lucci. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Het means house or mansion or estates. It indicates wealth. And Heru means light. Now, there are various ways of being able to interpret what Het Heru means. One is the house of light, or the mansion or estate of light, or the place of illumination, or the wealth of illumination. Um, but when you think of Het Heru, generally you think of abundance because of the fact that a mansion or a large estate is indicated. But it's much more than that. People are aware of the name Heru because of the guardian named Heru. There's Heru the elder, Heru Or, and there's Heru the son, who is the child of, known to be the child of Osset. But truthfully, he was the child of several guardians first. The name Heru was very popular through the ages, and Heru means day, or the illumined one, or the being of light. It indicates someone who is of a high vibration and who is a light bearer, who has come to bring consciousness or greater consciousness to the world. So he's associated first with Wajet and with Hatmeyit, who is an aspect of Het Heru. You've heard me talk a lot about Hatmeyit in the past. She is what you would say is the equivalent to, or the one who predates Yamuja. But you can go back and look at other videos for that information. Anyway, Heru, who also factors into the season, was also said to be either the child of Het Heru or the mate to Het Heru. But the thing is that there is definitely an association, and she is someone who, and he is someone who represents youthfulness, who grows into wisdom. Someone who is young, brash, perhaps, and some stories he's brash, but who goes through an evolution and becomes illuminated and is put on his destiny road because he comes into awareness about why he is on the planet and what his role is. And that is, of course, to bring mankind to another level of consciousness. Devon says, just like right now on Earth, we have many mamas and father figures. That's exactly right. Yes, indeed. You'll see a lot of similarities between a lot of the stories that are told between various cultures, but even within the Kemetic culture, there are variations in stories. And so let's go back to Het Heru. Listen, it's been a long day. I got up early and started a photo session, and then was editing video, and then was did a Zoom class, a Zoom meeting, and then did a Zoom class, and now here we are, 2 minutes to midnight, and bringing you this is how I'm ending my day. I hit on just about all of my goals today. The only goal that I did not hit on, well, I got kind of close, was decorating for the season. Usually I wait until the day after Thanksgiving, or what we know as Thanksgiving, or either Thanksgiving Day, to start with the Het Heru decor, but I kind of feel like putting it up early. A lot of people are putting up their decorations early for the holidays because we kind of need a boost right now. And, the thing that I love about this time of year is that even though there are so many different holidays of light, most everyone is on the same page because our consciousness is raised. There tends to be more mindfulness. Please also remember to drop off some gifts in different communities where you can. Also food, practical items, or places where you can donate money. We should be doing this all year anyway. But the good thing is at this time of year, there are people who will get extra benefit because people come into a flow of being mindful. So with it all happening at the same time under different names, um, different traditions, it's wonderful that a common thread is light or many lights and beautification. And these, of course, go along with Heru, which is one of the reasons why she is so beloved. And speaking of beloved, she also exudes love. But now here's the thing. The challenge in dealing with Heru is that she comes in many guises. People assume that it's the beautiful, sometimes depicted as voluptuous, although in Kemetic art, usually you don't see a lot of voluptuous women unless you see statues of people who had some money, So, but generally, when the Necharu are depicted, the women tend to be slightly shapely, definitely feminine, but slender. So this has nothing to do with any kind of fat shaming or anything like that. It's just the way that things were depicted. But anyhow, so with Heru, people think of her as being beautiful. People associate the color green with her. For those of you who saw the meme that I created and the photo shoot that I did, I was wearing this beautiful green velvet robe, and I wore all green except for my shoes and um, some accents, but the color green because she's associated with Heru. Well, actually, she is known as the Lady of Turquoise. That's her strongest color. Mm-hmm. And also, she is known for wearing red as well. So it's not just the green, but there you have Christmas colors, red and green, and then even aqua. So uh, she is also known for the beautiful beaded dresses that were made as overlays back in Kemet. You can see some gorgeous dresses or examples of that kind of a dress in New York at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The handwork is amazing and it still holds up after all these ages. But see, now with all of that weaving, it reminds you also of the fact that she connects you just like knit does. She is someone who brings people together. And during this time of year, you want to gather with people that you love, whether it's friends or family. And this is a time, especially with everything that we have been through in this country. For those of you who are aware of the fact that we've been through bit of trauma here in the United States. But I mean, listen, I'm in a good place, all right? Because I know my ancestors have gone through worse. I've gone through pretty horrendous things. I've gone through some horrible things. So I can get through the next 4 years, okay? But it's just a matter of attitude and who I'm around. I'm always talking about who's in your circle and who you want to gather with. But see, this is a great time, as I was starting to say, about to forgive. Now, the forgiveness thing can be kind of tricky. In Kemetic culture, we don't do the whole, oh, just forgive and everything will be okay. It's not like that. And truthfully, they've been finding in many studies of psychology that just blind forgiveness can be that can actually further your trauma because you're suppressing how you feel, you're suppressing the reality of it, and it's not giving you a chance to process. If you're able to process how you feel and then come to a place where you decide, okay, you know what, I'm just going to let this not rule my life and let it go, then that's one thing. But you don't want to diminish the reality of whatever your experience was. If you were traumatized, you were traumatized. Pretending it's not there is not healthy, and that's not the Kemetic way. But also to just, because other people are pressuring you and telling you, oh, but forgiveness is for you. And that's true. It's for you. But that doesn't mean that you are absolving the person of what they did. Wrong is wrong. And when someone does things to intentionally hurt you, you have the right to remember so that way you don't repeat it. Okay. And also to decide, listen, if I get to a place where I can truly forgive that person, then okay. But in the meantime, I'm good. That's fine too. Okay. Forced forgiveness, no bueno. There's nothing good about it. All right. But during this time of healing, it's a good thing to be able to at least examine why you feel how you feel. See if it can be worked out. This is something that can even be worked out in the ethers. Did you know that your higher self, the Herit, as we call it, the higher self, is able to communicate with the higher self of the other person if you so will it? And it's amazing how those things can actually be healing. Something comes through where a person ends up reaching out to you, asking for forgiveness, or maybe you get a letter, or even you just feel within yourself that something has shifted. You'd be surprised. But the biggest thing is don't let bitterness hold you back. Don't let it define your life. Don't let it rule your life. Heru is about joy and healing. And she is the mirror. For those of you who are familiar with Oshun, who I'd mentioned before, Oshun holds up a mirror. Well, the mirror for Heru is her solar disk. What is the purpose of the mirror and the solar disk? Some people erroneously think it's vanity. It is not vanity. They shine the mirror, or they show you the mirror in order to see what lies within your soul. I'd mentioned before about Heru coming in many guises. People think of her as being beautiful, pretty, and all that other stuff. Okay, according to societal standards. But what if you pass somebody who is very unkempt, who is begging on the street? How do you treat them? Suppose you come across someone who is elderly and having trouble getting across the street. Or if you're dealing with somebody who is very ill and it's something you don't quite understand, you find yourself losing patience with an individual. These all reflect who you are inside, what is in your heart and soul. And Heru challenges you to grow and to work on it. The abundance that she gives is equal to the abundance that you give in dealing with humanity, in dealing with your neighbor, dealing with your family, dealing with your coworker. That doesn't mean that you're a pushover or that you should be, but it does mean that you should be aware, conscious of what people are about and what they may need. This season is one that sheds the light on the heart of mankind and also what people are in need of. One of the biggest things that people are in need of is love. Heru is love. And how we share our love also is a reflection of who we are. Peace and blessings. Elijah, it's good to see you. Give thanks and praise. And thanks for sharing. Duau. And my love to E. So, and I hope to see you and the children during our holiday season. I'm going to have some gifts for them. And so, over the next several days, I'll be decorating. I'll be sharing with you my traditions. I'll be sharing the Kemetic traditions for gratitude. If you check my archive of all the videos that I have, good Lord, you'll find that I have covered Heru and the five gratitudes. It's a really important story that I'll be sharing with you. And also a great practice, not only for this time of year, but in general. Okay. Now, also, what about if you're alone? We'll be covering that too. You know, it can be tough to be by yourself. For me, I love being by myself. I'm the kind of person that won't miss anybody for long periods of time, you know? So I have to force myself sometimes to get out of the house just to make sure that I'm not, just stuck in not stuck, but just happily, blissfully in my own thing, or you're just sitting back and watching what I want to watch. But, I am aware of the fact that it is good to connect with other people. Otherwise, it's not really a healthy thing. Now, what happens if you are alone and you would like to be with other people? I have suggestions for you for regarding that as well. Every city, I'm finding every city, every town has access to so many community events where you can spend time with people who are caring. I know National Action Network. Y'all know that I'm president of the local Brick City chapter here in Newark. That in New York, at the main headquarters over at the House of Justice, they serve Thanksgiving dinner every year. Reverend Al's there serving along with other people. And people will choose to do that so that they have good fellowship and then they have a good time and good food. So that's just something to consider as well. But a lot of cities do that. Listen, Newark, they give out all this food. Last week they gave out all these turkeys. There's supposed to be more turkey giveaways. Oh yeah, and then there's the question of what happens if you are not a flesh eater. Awesome, good recipes for you. Okay. All right. So I think that's a nice introduction for us. I've been on for 20 minutes. I'll take it to 25 minutes and then we'll take it down. Make sure you're hydrated. Let me tell you something. The other night, I had the first asthma attack I've had in a long time. It took me so much by surprise. It actually scared me. If you've never experienced an asthma attack, trust me, it's one of the things in life you never, ever, ever, ever want to deal with, ever. Because all you want to do is breathe. Now, I generally have an emergency pump by my bedside, and I moved it and didn't remember that I moved it. So I've got like a couple of a few, maybe like 4 emergency pumps. And, one in this bag, and having it by the bedside is of course most important. So I ended up going to my purse, tearing apart my purse, getting my pump out of my makeup bag. And thankfully I was able to, to deal with it. And then I was using my pulmonary machine afterwards. Talking about grateful to be able to breathe, grateful to have the remedies at hand that restored me, grateful to sit here in the warmth of my home, my beautiful home, give thanks, grateful for all the experiences that I've had in life, things that seem like hard times that now seem like glittering diamonds because I got through them and because I gained wisdom from them. Some things I've learned I will never do again. But I look at the various things that I enjoy, that I do again and again and again. The people that I've come to meet, the people I've come to love, my family members that I love, everything that was poured into me. My ancestors also who poured into me, and what a joy it is to pour libation to them every single day because they poured into me. And to have all those great holiday memories that I've had from over the years, decorating my mother's house, My mother was the Black Martha Stewart before B. Smith was. May she rest in peace. May my brother rest in peace as well. But it was a big deal how they decorating my mother's house. I mean, everything was perfectly coordinated. I was actually thinking about getting a swag this year for my fireplace mantle. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah. And uh, people coming over, memories of that, uh, memories of being outside and freezing. That wasn't fun. Freezing, putting up my mother's decorations outside. Oh my goodness. She had these daggone deer, right? You've probably seen them. They're out there. They're supposed to look like they're eating at the lawn. They're the white wire and they light up. They're very pretty, but they didn't seem all that pretty this one night when I was putting them up for my mother, because it was literally freezing outside. And my mother was concerned with getting them up by a certain deadline. There was the whole ritual of making sure the 3 wise men were placed out. She had this really beautiful, big, expensive set that she had. I had to get that out, and then also getting up that tree. And I was in charge of putting up the tree every year and doing putting up the swag and all this other stuff. But then, I mean, it wasn't a thing where I did it all at the same time usually, but this night my mother wanted it all the same night. I'm outside putting lights up on the bushes and putting up these daggone deer that didn't want to stay standing up because it was windy as I don't know what. When I got finished, I remember I was so frustrated. I walked to the local diner and I ran into my aunt, and so I was telling her, she was like, well, you know how your mother is. Come on, sit down here and have something to eat. But there were plenty of times, though, where I would go and buy Christmas cookies and hot cocoa and put Christmas music on. And my mother would be sitting there making the flowers that were going to go on the tree, because she had a silk floral design business. And every year she had a specific theme. So the theme color and flowers were made into wreaths, and also they went on the tree, and the swag, and also she had these 2 miniature trees that are at the side of her fireplace that belonged to my grandparents. Okay, and I mean, it was beautiful. It was just absolutely beautiful, and those were happy memories. And that's not even touching on my childhood. That all happened in my older adult years. And so I have those wonderful memories to hang on to. My mother is now an ancestor. She's in the ancestral realm. She passed away, for those of you who don't know. She passed away Easter Sunday, 2020, of COVID. So, so pulling out the holiday stuff. And these are all things from my own stash of decorations that I have collected over the years. But pulling out my own reminds me of my mother. And but now, prior to that, I had special memories of decorating the tree with my stepfather. That was our thing from when I was a kid up until he couldn't do it anymore. He passed away many, many years ago from cancer. But that was always that was a beautiful, beautiful memory. What beautiful memories do you have? I'm sure you have some whether it was something in school play, decorations you made in school. And I'm not saying this from a standpoint of expecting that Christmas was everybody's thing. Everybody has different traditions. Some people choose not to do anything, and that's your right. Okay, some people just love the idea of being able to sleep in all day, which actually sounds really good to me. Thank you, Elijah. Salute to the Black Martha Stewart and the ancestors. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, my gift for decor and for cooking and for designing clothing and the whole artisan thing, that came from my mother, from my mother's from both my mother's side of the family, my maternal grandmother and my maternal grandfather. They had the most tremendously talented um, uh, siblings. These were my aunts and my great grandmother who used to design clothes, and my great my great aunt who used to design hats, and it goes on and on and on. So anyway, I think that oh, it's okay. It's 30 minutes. So I'm going to close things out right now. When we come back together tomorrow, please share your memories. I'm hoping that you were in a place of peace. I'm hoping also that you're able to find peace within yourself so that if you are alone, that you're okay. You know, one of the happiest memories that I had was when I just chose to stay home in the bed on what was it, Thanksgiving or was it Christmas? I forget. I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. Oh, I think it was Christmas Eve and Christmas. Yeah. I ordered some food. I had all my favorite movies on that were coming on. And I'm a real sucker for holiday movies. I really am. And I was, oh God, it was so wonderful. You know, you take your phone calls and you make your phone calls and stuff like that, but just being able to be all nice and snugly in your bed and just chilling. Oh yeah, it was great. Okay. All right. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. It's not gonna be this late. Okay. Like I said, I had a long day today. In fact, let me see. It's tomorrow. I'm in the studio tomorrow, and then, like I said, my doctor appointments, and my therapist taught me how to use my Google Calendar. And let me see. Yeah, doctor appointment. Meeting at 6 o'clock. Yeah, so it'll probably be like 9 o'clock when I get to you because I have a meeting from 6 to 8 o'clock. So anyway, much love to you. Hope you have a blessed rest. We say Resui Nechem, which means sweet dreams. Merea, which means much love. Heri, which means be at peace. Teni, which means to be accountable. Jebewi, which means to be merciful. But remember to not be so hard on yourself. Show mercy to yourself as well. If you're a jerk, they'll work on it, okay? Have a blessed night. Much love to you.